Welcome to the NC Spin After Spin. Additional comments from our panelists just available on our website. I want to ask each of you, what do you wish you had said on last week's show but didn't? Cash Michaels, I'll start with you.
When we were talking about the need for a high school diploma to get a good paying job, and I indicated before that Governor Beverly Perdue had met with many corporations before she left office, and how they had complained about the fact of not being able to find an educated populace in North Carolina for what they wanted to do. The city of Raleigh, at least a decade ago, did a study, indicated that the youngest workers in the city of Raleigh were in Southeast Raleigh. And what they were imploring a lot of corporations to do was to set up shop in Southeast Raleigh and then to train a lot of that population to actually come and work in these areas, which is probably no different than when they set up shop in rural parts of the state, that you may have a lot of folks out there who also may have an educational deficit, no fault of their own, and yet they're trained to work at those corporations. And so I don't know how far that plan ever went, but that may be part of the solution here, beyond trying to improve education.
It's almost like an apprenticeship kind of.
Exactly.
Yeah, all right. What do you wish you'd have said on last week's show, Gene Norman?
Well, we talked about a lot of things, but the issue that I don't think we spent enough time on was the creation of jobs and the shortage of jobs for people who are qualified. That's the driving issue, the economy in North Carolina, and we're spending more time on bathrooms and other things that really don't matter, and there's less interest in. If we can't get the economy going back in the western part of the state and the eastern part of the state, where conditions are the same as you would find in a third world country, we're going to continue to be in trouble.
Well, and in addition to that, coupled with that, is the shrinkage of the middle class. The middle incomes, most of the service sector jobs that are being created aren't jobs that will help a person support a family.
Service section jobs pay okay, but not like manufacturing jobs. You can make $50,000, $60,000 in a service job, and if you get to be a vice president, even more than that. But manufacturing jobs, jobs coming in like we're going to have in Edgecombe County, rather, with the railroad, that's going to pay $80,000, $90,000 jobs for the guy working on the line.
But hasn't manufacturing changed to the point where they're not using as much labor as they once were?
No, and farming is not using as much labor. It's more mechanized. You can take a 10,000-acre cotton farm and farm it with 3 people with the machines that you have today. But that's not enough people getting paid decent wages to be able to increase their standard of living.
All right, Connie, what do you wish you'd have said on last week's show?
You know, it's been interesting going down to the legislative building and just kind of noodling around and trying to talk to legislators about issues. It's as if people don't really want to make any commitments right now, which is unusual, on what they want to work on for the long session, and we're not too far away from it. And that reason is because nobody really knows what's going to happen Election Day. There's a lot of what ifs, but it depends on which voters show up and how they feel that day.
Perhaps maybe I get the sense that there's more of that this cycle than there has been in previous election cycles.
Yes, very much so. I don't ever remember it being it being so hard to get legislators to commit to an issue. But if the governorship changes, that totally changes the issues that are out there. If the House isn't veto-proof anymore, that changes the issues that you can deal with. So everybody's kind of hanging back and waiting to see, well, let's talk after the election.
November 9th. Get back to me November 9th. Bob, what do you wish you'd have said on last week's show?
Well, the long-term well-being of this state, I think, is inextricably linked to public education, the jobs issue we talked about. But one thing we didn't mention is farming. And I don't know much about farming, but our food sources and the opportunity for young people to become small farmers and earn a good living and make a significant contribution to their community, particularly in the rural areas of our state that are suffering right now. I just think we need to be able to focus on that more.
And it's the #1 contributor to the economy in North Carolina.
Absolutely.
Well, thanks for watching the After Spin. We'll have more video all during the week on ncspin.com.